Good evening, everybody. I am back, and it's been a few days since I went live. Actually, it's just been one day. But on this live stream today, I'm going to share with you my experience on Let's Make a Deal, the game show, and also it coincides with a lesson about trusting your intuition. But before I get into that, I'm just going to share this video on some of the other groups that I host, as well as my business page, so that it can go live on all the things. So while you are waiting for me to do that, and you're hopping on, please comment hello, and if you're catching the replay of this, please comment #replay. So I'm just going to share it in my Facebook group. And while I'm doing that, just so you know, I've been on national television about 6 or 7 times now. And each time has been magical. And 2 of those times were game shows. And so tonight, what I'm sharing is my experience on one of the game shows. And the reason why I'm sharing it is because the episode just aired the other day. So the time I'm recording this is Sunday night, September 1st. And the episode aired again on Friday, August 30th. And I know because my aunt texted me, or not texted me, she commented on one of our family Facebook groups. But just a second while I share this on some of my other pages, and then I will pop back in and be fully engaged with you. So just a moment. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so I've been on a game show twice, and first time was on 𝗵𝗵𝘮𝗻, and that aired in 2018, April 2018, and I actually won $5,000 and the grand prize, which was a weekend trip to Las Vegas. And you can catch that episode. I'm pretty sure it's on vh1.com or something like that. It's season 2. It's the season premiere of season 2. So you could just look for season premiere, season 2, and it has Black China and Jeremy Meeks on it. And most recently, I was on Let's Make a Deal, which, if you're not familiar, it's a reboot of an older game show, and it's hosted by Wayne Brady, and it's basically kind of like a variety fun game show. And so I actually taped it back in August 2018, and it aired for the first time in April 2019 this year, and then it just recently aired on Friday again because my aunt told me. And I do have some screenshots and videos, and I actually have not watched the episode myself because it would be painful for me to watch. And the only reason it's painful for me to watch is because it's a reminder of a time where I doubted my intuition, and it cost me big. So, and I'm sure you can probably find it somewhere on the internet, but it's Let's Make a Deal. I don't even know what episode it was. But basically, I was playing a game where it was like this pyramid of different numbers. And then I had to keep going up the pyramid, and I just had to choose a number. And if I chose a number and there was an amount of money behind it, then I would get that amount of money. But if I would choose a number and it was a zonk, then game over. And I had the option with each level to either keep the money or keep the money and stop playing, or keep playing, because if I made it all the way through, I would have won a brand new car. And let me tell you, I knew I was going to be on this show. So I was manifesting that I would get on the show, I would get to play on the show, and that I would win a brand new car. I was actively manifesting this for weeks. And those of you who know me know that I pride myself in being a manifestation queen. Like, I just have this secret sauce that I also teach my clients and people in my groups of how to manifest things by feeling your way into it, plus taking the appropriate action to get what you want. So I knew, I was like, I am coming here to win a car. It wasn't like, oh, I might win something, or, oh, I hope I get on the show. It was like, no, I am getting on the show and I am winning a car. So also, I had watched other episodes of the show just to kind of get familiar with the format so I could like start to manifest it into my system. And what I noticed, though, is that when they give away a car, it's usually like a gray or silver colored car or like a white colored car. And for me, I was like, I don't want a gray, silver, or white colored car. So it's going to be like a nice car that I would want. And then they called on me and it was my turn to play. And I saw the grand prize was a car, and it was a cherry red 2019 Toyota Camry, I think. I was like, that's my car. Like, this is what I've manifested. That is obviously my car. And I immediately got in the zone and I just like plowed through the pyramid. I was like 4, 2, 3, just calling out numbers. And at the top of the pyramid, it's either 1 or 2. And if I select the right one, then I win the car. If I select the wrong one, then game over. I get nothing, basically. So even when I saw the pyramid, I immediately was like 2. 2 is the winning number. So I already knew. And plus, for those of you who know me, 222 is my angel number. It's my lucky number. It's like 2 is the indication. So I plowed through the pyramid. I was up to like $3,000, $3,500, something like that. The energy in the room was electric, and I knew I was ready to just be like, 2, give me my car. And if you watch the episode, you will see. You will probably notice it now that I'm telling you, but I looked at Wayne Brady and I looked him in the eye and he said something like, "Are you sure?" or something like that. And I didn't say 2 out loud. Before I said a number, I second guessed myself. And I will never forget what that feels like. It was this feeling in my chest of doubt. And I lost that momentum, that energetic momentum that I had to win the car. For a split second, I'm telling you this, a split second. And I said 1, and it was the zonk. 2 was the winning number. I still maintain that the car was mine. And this is where free will meets, divinely, what is it? Divine destiny. Okay, because that car was mine. I had been manifesting that car for weeks. And it was my free will that got in the way. It was my ego that got in the way. It was my self-doubt that got in the way. Because I know the difference now between what I was feeling with the numbers I was choosing and the fact that I knew number 2 was the winning number. And then that feeling of when I second guessed myself and when it was a split second, I'm telling you, it was like this. But I second guessed myself. I started caring about what other people thought. I got outside of myself and I picked the wrong number. And I will tell you, I mean, everyone congratulated me because it was an epic game. And plus, like, they made me dance on there. So you'll get to see me dance in a koala onesie and a tutu. Hashtag you're welcome. I cried so hard when I got in the car. And I called Justin and I was sobbing, crying. And I still haven't watched that episode. And my uncle even took a video of it and sent it to me, which, you know, I will watch eventually and probably post if Facebook allows that. But yeah, it was hard. And so I always love to turn everything into a teaching moment, as you know. So the lesson, a very, very hard lesson I learned in trusting my intuition and just really not giving a shit about what other people think and just trusting myself. You know, like there were so many times in my life where well-meaning mentors, well-meaning friends, family members have like given me advice for something, or I was doubting my own intelligence and intuition and ability to just know what to do. And oftentimes I do know what to do and I doubt it. And I'm sure you can relate. And so let this be, as this was a very hard lesson for me, but let this be a lesson to you that you know way more. Oftentimes you know way more than you give yourself credit for. Your intuition is always correct. I'm sure if you can look back into your life at the times that you've doubted yourself and you're like, oh, I knew it. You know, those moments. And like, this was a hard one. This was a hard loss for me. I mean, and granted, I didn't lose anything because that, you know, nothing was ever like in my possession. But it was, energetically it was. Like I manifested that car. And the fact that it was bright cherry red, like, oh my gosh, that couldn't have been more perfect. It was like literally my name could have been on it. And my free will got in the way, you know? And I mean, all's well that ends well. And I always think back to that moment of like, nope, trust your intuition. You know what to do. And so ever since then, I've been really, really exercising my intuition. And what does that mean? It's like, for you, what I would say to you in terms of teaching you how to do that, go back to moments in your life where you knew what to do that would yield the results that you wanted and what that felt like, the alignment that felt like in your body and in your mind and in your soul and in your gut. And then whether you followed it or not, then compare that to the times that you did something that was out of alignment and not with your intuition and not with your gut. And those moments where you were like, oh, I knew it, or oh, I knew I should have done XYZ instead of ABC. Think back to those moments and really take a log of what that felt like in your body, in your mind, in your soul, in your spirit. And that is your intuition. Because see, I could sit here and describe to you what it feels like for me, but for each one of us, it's different. The way your intuition works is different for every person. So just go back and take a log of all those moments and see what that felt like, and just keep following that and trusting that, because it will never steer you wrong. I mean, learn from me. I could have been chilling in a new car by now. I mean, I would have had that car. Sold my current one, which is now 10 years old, right? Hey, Anya. You're going to love this story, Anya. I'm just wrapping it up right now. I don't know. I don't even know. I wasn't even checking comments or anything. I just see yours right now, but follow your intuition, y'all. Like, stop fucking around and just trust yourself. Trust yourself. Because you could be like me and not having a brand new cherry red car right now from a game show. Like, seriously. Actually, I'll end with this. On the other game show that I was on, which was 𝗵𝗵_𝘬𝗎, I trusted my intuition. And I will tell you, everyone was telling me to choose different boxes. And I mean, just watch the show. 𝗵𝗵_𝘬𝗎 is basically like Hollywood Squares, just with hip hop artists and famous people. And it's on VH1. You could probably go to vh1.com, season 2, episode 1. I'm on it with Black China and Jeremy Meeks. But there's a moment where I have to choose certain boxes, and then those boxes will determine my prize. And people were telling me to pick other things, and I was just like, no, I know what I want to pick. I know what I want to say. And that ultimately led me to $5,000 and the grand prize. So why couldn't I do that on Let's Make a Deal? Because I could be chilling in a brand new cherry red car. But no, I had to go and doubt myself, and I had to go and worry about what other people were thinking. Don't do that. Say no to external validation, y'all. The only validation you need is right here, right here. Yeah, I'll see if I can find links. Honestly, I'm not going to look for Let's Make a Deal. You look for it, because I still can't watch that episode. It hurts too bad. I will post some photos in the comments, because like I said, I was dancing in a koala onesie and a tutu. Again, hashtag you're welcome. But I will link my Hip Hop Squares episode if I find it, because that one I'm very proud of. But anyway, thanks for listening to my story. And when I end this live, you'll get to hear the whole thing, all the gory details. And I would love to read your comments about it or any questions that you have. Anyway, have a good night, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. I love you so much. Mwah.